Hey there, welcome back. It's Trending Everyday Podcast with your host, Michael, bringing you the hottest takes daily.
Welcome back, Deep Divers. Today we're diving into APT.
Oh, yeah.
The track that's got everyone talking.
It really has.
Yeah, it's that unexpected but undeniably catchy collab between K-pop superstar Rosé of Blackpink and, well, the one and only Bruno Mars.
It's fascinating how this song manages to feel both familiar and fresh at the same time.
Yeah.
It's got those classic Bruno Mars elements.
Right.
But with Rosé's unique vocals layered on top, we're going to unpack the story behind the lyrics,
Okay.
break down the production, and explore why APT has become such a global phenomenon.
We've got charts to dissect,
Oh, yeah.
fan theories to unravel, and even a deep dive into that visually stunning music video.
Can't wait.
Ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right, so first up, let's talk about this powerhouse pairing.
Okay.
Rosé, known for her ethereal vocals and being 1/4 of the global K-pop sensation Blackpink, and Bruno Mars, the hitmaker, who effortlessly blends pop funk and R&B.
And this is their first major collaboration,
That's right.
which makes it even more intriguing.
Yeah.
Sadly, the sources don't reveal the exact origin story of how these two musical titans ended up working together.
Oh, bummer.
Makes you wonder, though, right?
Yeah, totally.
Was it a chance encounter, a strategic move by their labels, or maybe even a long-time mutual admiration?
I know. It's like a musical mystery.
Yeah.
But regardless of how it happened, the result is undeniable.
Huh?
Both artists are at the top of their game,
Totally.
and they each bring something unique to the table.
Absolutely. Their individual styles complement each other so well.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of what makes APT so captivating.
So true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the song itself.
Right.
APT dropped late 2024 and immediately started climbing charts worldwide.
Wow.
Genre-wise, it's been labeled as pop R&B
Mm.
and with a touch of soul.
Interesting how Bruno Mars takes those familiar pop and R&B elements and elevates them with his signature production style.
Yeah.
I'm thinking specifically of those smooth bass lines and layered harmonies.
You know, you mentioning layered harmonies made me realize I don't actually know what that means musically.
Oh, yeah.
Is it just like a bunch of voices singing the same notes?
Great question. Layered harmonies involve recording multiple vocal tracks, often singing different but complementary notes,
Okay.
and then blending them together.
Huh.
It creates a richer, fuller sound, and it's used a lot in pop and R&B to add depth and texture to a song.
Okay.
In APT, the harmonies are so well executed that they create this almost hypnotic effect.
Wow. Okay, that makes so much more sense now.
Yeah.
It's like those harmonies are wrapping around you and pulling you into the song.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you combine those harmonies with the driving beat
Right?
and the interplay between Rosé's lighter vocals and Bruno's soulful tone,
Yeah.
it's no wonder APT is such a hit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like all these individual elements come together to create this sonic experience that's both familiar and totally new.
Absolutely.
Speaking of creation, both Rosé and Bruno Mars are credited as co-writers on APT, along with a team of top-tier songwriters.
Oh, wow.
However, Bruno took the lead on production,
Makes sense.
which, given his track record of crafting smash hits,
Right?
isn't surprising at all.
You can definitely hear his fingerprints all over this track.
Yeah.
His attention to detail is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The way he builds the song, starting soft and then growing into this huge anthemic chorus.
Uh-huh.
It's classic Bruno Mars.
Totally.
Okay.
Okay, let's move beyond the sound and dive into those lyrics.
All right.
What's the story APT is trying to tell?
Well, the title itself is interesting. APT could be short for apartment,
Okay.
which might suggest a private, intimate setting, or maybe it's an acronym with a hidden meaning.
Ooh.
The lyrics themselves are definitely full of longing
Yeah.
and a push and pull between wanting someone and knowing you maybe shouldn't.
There's that element of risk and giving in to temptation
Right.
that I think a lot of people can relate to.
Exactly. We've all been there,
Sure.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Wanting something that might not be good for us,
Ugh.
but being unable to resist.
Yeah.
Take the line, "Don't you want me like I want you, baby?" It's simple, but so effective.
Okay, before we get too deep into the lyrical analysis, I want to rewind for a second.
Right.
You mentioned that the title APT might be an acronym. Did any of our sources dive into that possibility? Or is that purely speculation?
That's a good catch. Yeah. You're right to call that out.
Right.
It's not something explicitly addressed in our sources.
Okay.
It's more of an open question that fans have been pondering. But I think it speaks to the song's ability to spark intrigue and invite multiple interpretations.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the lyrics. Okay. What else jumps out at you?
Well, the line, sleep tomorrow, but tonight, go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Really captures that feeling of throwing caution to the wind and giving in to the moment.
And the way Rosé and Bruno deliver those lines?
It's like a conversation.
Yeah.
Rosé's breathy vocals convey a vulnerability, while Bruno brings a confident, almost playful energy.
That interplay between their voices is one of the things that makes this song so dynamic.
Yeah.
You can feel the tension and the attraction building with each verse.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have that music video, which takes the whole vibe to another level.
It does.
It's visually stunning with cinematic shots and dreamlike imagery.
It's like stepping into a world of color and shadows.
Yeah.
Reflecting the emotional push and pull of the lyrics. There are these vibrant, almost neon-like colors that contrast with dark, shadowy scenes.
Wow.
The choreography is also incredible.
I know.
It's both seductive and powerful.
And the fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Those outfits are bold and unforgettable.
Definitely sparking some trends.
Okay, before we fully unpack the visual feast that is the APT music video, let's take a quick detour.
I'm curious about those dance challenges and social media trends you mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah.
What are some examples of how APT has taken on a life of its own online?
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
One popular dance challenge involved recreating a specific sequence from the music video, and it went viral on TikTok.
Wow.
Fans are also creating their own edits and remixes of the song, and there are countless reaction videos and fan theories circulating online. It's been really interesting to see how APT has sparked creativity within the fandom.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It shows how music can go beyond just listening.
Right.
And become this participatory experience where people connect and express themselves.
Right. It's about creating a community around shared passions.
Okay, back to that music video.
Right.
It's clearly more than just a visual accompaniment to the song.
Yeah.
What makes it so effective, in your opinion?
Well, I think the music video elevates the song's emotional impact. It's not just about looking good. It's about telling a story and creating a mood that resonates with the music.
It's like it adds another layer of depth to the experience. I'd love to break it down scene by scene. Yeah. But I think we'll have to save that for later.
Agreed. There's just so much to talk about.
Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the song's global impact.
Okay.
APT debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow.
And held that spot for weeks.
Nice.
It's also topped charts globally. And the streaming numbers are, well, pretty astronomical. Yeah. We're talking over 756 million views on YouTube alone.
Those are impressive stats.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the charts. APT has sparked countless fan theories, reaction videos, and those social media trends we were just discussing.
It's crazy how one song can become this cultural touchstone that people connect with on such a deep level. Yeah. It makes me wonder, though, did Rosé and Bruno Mars ever share their own thoughts on APT? Like what inspired the song or how they felt about the final product?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, our sources don't offer any artist statements or behind-the-scenes insights.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's a shame because it would be fascinating to hear their perspectives on the creative process.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But maybe that adds to the intrigue.
It could.
It leaves room for us as listeners to draw our own conclusions and interpret the song in ways that resonate with us personally.
That's true.
Yeah.
It invites a more active listening experience.
Speaking of active listening,
we've
covered a lot of ground here in part 1 of our deep dive.
We have.
We've talked about the artists, the song's production, the lyrics, the music video, and even its global impact.
It's a lot.
But this is just the beginning.
Oh, right.
In part 2, we're going to dig even deeper into the musical nuances of APT.
Ooh, okay.
And explore some of those fan theories that are circulating online.
I'm ready.
So stay tuned.
You won't want to miss it.
Yeah.
There are some fascinating insights waiting to be uncovered.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
See you then. Welcome back to our deep dive into APT. You ready to explore some more of those musical nuances?
Absolutely. Part 1 left me wanting to hear even more about the specific sounds and techniques that make this song so unique.
Okay, well, one of the first things that grabbed my attention was the use of soulful melodies and harmonies.
Yeah.
You hear it right from the start in the vocal arrangement,
Okay.
in those layered backing vocals,
Mhm.
and even during the instrumental breaks. It's like they create this luxurious, almost velvety texture.
Yes. It's like those harmonies are enveloping you, drawing you into the song's world.
Yeah.
And then you've got those guitar riffs, which seem to blend both pop and R&B influences.
Right.
They add a bit of an edge to the overall smoothness.
Those guitar riffs are interesting, aren't they? It's like they're adding just enough texture and depth to keep the sound from being too polished. They prevent things from becoming predictable.
Exactly. And speaking of keeping things interesting, let's talk about the rhythm section.
Okay.
The drums, the bass, the percussion.
Right.
It all works together to create this groove that's almost impossible not to move to.
That groove is infectious.
I know.
And it's a testament to Bruno Mars's production skills.
Yeah.
He knows how to create a beat that gets people moving, but he also layers in those intricate details and textures that keep things fresh.
Right.
It's that balance between pop sensibility and R&B swagger that makes APT so irresistible.
So true. And speaking of irresistibles, we have to talk about the vocals in more detail.
Okay.
We touched on the interplay between Rosé and Bruno's voices earlier.
Yeah.
But what specific techniques or nuances stand out to you?
Well, one of the most impressive aspects is the use of harmonization and vocal layering.
Okay.
As we discussed earlier, this involves recording multiple vocal tracks and blending them together.
Right.
And APT, their voices merge so smoothly, creating these lush harmonies that are both beautiful and powerful. It's like each vocal track is a thread.
Yeah.
And they're being woven together to form this sonic tapestry.
Okay, but do you think there's ever a point where those harmonies become too much? Like, does it ever cross the line from being rich and interesting to just being overwhelming?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's definitely a fine line.
Yeah.
Too much layering can make a song sound muddy or cluttered.
Right.
But in APT, I think Bruno Mars strikes that perfect balance.
Okay.
The harmonies are definitely prominent, but they never overpower the other elements of the song.
Okay.
It's more like they enhance the emotion and create that hypnotic effect we talked about.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it makes me think about how much thought and precision goes into producing a track like this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Every sound, every layer, every vocal inflection is deliberate.
And then, of course, you've got the way Rosé and Bruno play with dynamics.
Yes.
Shifting from those soft, breathy vocals to powerful belts.
That dynamic range keeps the song interesting and engaging. It's not just one level of intensity.
Right.
It's like they're taking us on a journey through all these different emotions.
Yes. It's like a roller coaster of desire, longing, and vulnerability. It makes me want to see them perform this song live.
Me too.
Can you imagine the energy in the ring?
Oh, I can only imagine. Sadly, our sources don't mention any live performances of APT.
Oh, man, that's too bad.
But if and when that happens,
Right.
I have a feeling it'll be legendary.
Fingers crossed. Okay, for now, we'll have to settle for reliving the magic of that music video.
Okay.
I know we briefly touched on it, but I'm ready to go deeper.
All right.
What else can you tell us about the visual elements?
Well, one of the things I find fascinating is the use of symbolism and imagery. There are these recurring motifs of light and darkness, fire and water, which seem to represent the conflicting emotions and desires explored in the song.
Yes, I noticed that too.
You did?
Yeah, it's like they're giving us clues, but it's up to us to decipher the message.
Right.
What are your thoughts on those symbols?
Well, I think the light and darkness could represent the push and pull between giving in to temptation and resisting it.
Okay.
The fire might symbolize passion and desire, while the water could represent cleansing or a return to calmness. But these are just my interpretations. There are so many possibilities.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
It sparks those conversations and encourages people to think critically about what they're seeing.
And speaking of interpretations, have you come across any interesting fan theories or analyses of the music video online?
Oh, tons.
Really?
Some people think the video tells a story of forbidden love.
Okay.
Others see it as a metaphor for addiction.
Wow.
And some even believe it's a commentary on fame and the pressures of celebrity.
Those are all intriguing interpretations.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how one music video can generate so many different perspectives. It speaks to the power of visual storytelling and the creativity of the fan base.
I know. It's like the video is a puzzle and everyone's trying to find their own way to solve it. It makes me wonder if Rosé or Bruno have seen any of these fan interpretations and what they might think about them?
I would love to know. But alas, our sources remain silent on that front.
Oh, man.
It's probably for the best, though.
Yeah.
It allows the art to speak for itself and for fans to engage with it on their own terms.
I totally agree. So we've talked about symbolism fan theories and the overall mood and aesthetic of the APT music video.
Yeah.
But what about the technical aspects?
Okay.
Were there any specific filming techniques or visual effects that stood out to you?
One thing that struck me was the use of slow motion and close-up shots.
Oh, okay.
These techniques are used to emphasize certain emotions or actions,
Yeah.
like a lingering glance or a subtle gesture. It draws the viewer in and creates a sense of intimacy.
And there are those scenes with quick cuts and flashing lights,
Right.
which create a more energetic and chaotic feel.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're visually representing the go crazy part of the lyrics.
Exactly. It's like they're playing with the pacing and rhythm of the visuals to mirror the music.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's one of the things that makes the APT music video so effective.
Yeah.
It's not just a visual afterthought.
Okay.
It's a carefully constructed visual narrative that enhances the song's impact.
It elevates the experience from simply hearing a song to feeling it on a deeper level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the power of collaboration, not just between the artists,
Right.
but also between the musicians, the songwriters, the producers, and the creative team behind the music video.
So much talent and vision went into creating APT, and it clearly shows in the final product.
It makes you appreciate the artistry that goes into crafting a hit song.
Yeah.
It's more than just a catchy melody. It's
Yeah.
about storytelling, emotional connection, and creating an experience that resonates with people on multiple levels.
Well said.
Yeah.
In part 3 of our deep dive, we're going to explore the influences that might have shaped APT and consider its potential impact on the future of music.
Interesting.
We'll also tackle that big question. What is it about collaborations like this that capture our imaginations and leave such a lasting impression?
It's going to be an insightful discussion. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into APT, the global hit that's brought together Rosé of Blackpink and Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
We've dissected the lyrics, analyzed the production, and even explored the symbolism of that visually stunning music video.
We have.
We've covered a lot of ground,
Yeah.
but there's still so much to unpack.
I know, right?
In this last part, I'm excited to trace the musical threads that run through APT
Okay.
and consider how it might influence the future of music.
Absolutely. Music is constantly evolving, with artists drawing inspiration from the past to
Right.
create something new.
APT, while feeling very contemporary, definitely has those echoes of earlier musical eras and genres,
It does.
especially in Bruno Mars's production style.
Yeah.
We've touched on those hints of classic soul funk and even a touch of Motown throughout this deep dive.
It's like he's taking those classic sounds and filtering them through his own unique lens,
Right,
creating something that feels both familiar and fresh.
precisely. Bruno Mars has always been a master of blending vintage sounds with modern sensibilities. You can hear it in his previous work too, like Uptown Funk and 24K Magic,
Oh, yeah.
where he samples and reinterprets those iconic sounds.
I'm curious, though.
Yeah.
Are there any specific songs by Rosé or Bruno Mars that APT reminds you of? Like, beyond those general genre influences,
Right.
are there tracks that feel like direct predecessors or share a similar vibe?
That's a great question on Rosé's side. I think there are parallels to her solo work,
Okay.
particularly in the ethereal quality of her vocals and the emotional rawness she brings to the performance. Think of songs like On the Ground and Gone,
Oh, yeah.
where she explores themes of vulnerability and longing, much like she does in APT.
Oh, yes. You're right. There are definitely similarities in her vocal delivery and the emotional tone. Those songs have that same haunting, almost ethereal quality.
What about on Bruno's side?
Well, I'd say there are definite connections to his earlier work, like Uptown Funk and 24K Magic, especially in terms of that infectious groove, those layered harmonies, and that overall celebratory energy.
The songs are impossible not to dance to.
I know.
And APT definitely has that same energy, but it feels slightly more mature and refined, perhaps due to the collaborative nature of the project.
I agree. It's like he's honed his craft even further.
Yeah.
And added a layer of sophistication to his signature sound. But he hasn't lost that spark of joy and musicality.
Exactly. And that evolution is what makes him such a compelling artist.
Totally.
He's constantly pushing boundaries, but also staying true to his roots.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, let's talk about the potential influence of APT on the future of music.
Okay.
Do you think this song will leave a lasting mark on the musical landscape?
You know, it's probably too early to say for sure,
Yeah.
but I think it's already making waves.
Huh.
We talked about those fashion trends sparked by Rosé's music video looks.
Right.
And there's no doubt those will continue to ripple outward.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think APT might inspire more artists to embrace collaboration, especially across genres. It's proof that blending different styles and influences can lead to something truly unique and groundbreaking.
I completely agree. It's like APT is breaking down those genre barriers
Right.
and encouraging more cross-cultural collaborations. And as technology continues to connect us globally,
Right.
I think we'll see even more opportunities for musicians from different backgrounds and cultures to come together and create something special.
That's an exciting thought. It makes me wonder what kind of musical hybrids we'll be listening to in the years to come.
I know, right?
Okay, before we get too carried away with predictions, let's bring it back to the heart of APT. We've talked about its impact, its influences, its potential legacy. But ultimately, it's a song meant to be felt to be experienced.
Absolutely. So here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
Put on your headphones, close your eyes, and just let APT wash over you. Let the music transport you. Let the lyrics speak to your soul.
Yeah.
And let those visuals you've analyzed so carefully play out in your imagination.
Yes. And as you listen, think about what APT means to you.
Yeah.
What emotions does it evoke? What stories does it tell within your own heart?
Because the most powerful interpretations are the ones we create for ourselves.
And that's the beauty of music, isn't it?
It is.
It's a shared experience, but also deeply personal. That's what makes it so powerful and connects us in ways that words often can't.
It's been a pleasure diving deep into APT with you.
Likewise. And to all our deep divers out there, keep exploring, keep listening, and keep those playlists fresh. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of music and culture. Until then, may your ears be filled with sounds of discovery and delight.
See you later.
Please hit the subscribe button and drop a comment on the next trending music you want us to review.